Shalom, guys. So I want to talk about Ezekiel 28. This is a real tough one for a lot of people. They refuse to actually acknowledge it for what it truly says, nor can they put it together in their head. Some people just say that it's a poem, or they just disregard it as nothing. Well, guess what? I'm not one of those people. I trust the Father. I love the Father with all my heart, soul, and mind. I believe in keeping every inch of the law, every jot, every tittle. And I trust that his will be done on this earth, and that's exactly what I want, is his will to be done on the earth. Ezekiel 28 is very important, especially verses 1 through 19, or 20. 19 actually, sorry. 19. You'll notice it talks about two different deities, the prince of Tyrus and the king of Tyrus. This is giving you guys a huge clue in something that's in the world today that a lot of people refuse to acknowledge. So first off, I want to talk about the king of Tyrus, the second deity mentioned here in Ezekiel 28. It's very important. Ezekiel 28 verse 12 says specifically, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus." So we know this is talking about the king of Tyrus. "And say unto him, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, you sealest up the sum full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God." Oh, so this king of Tyrus was in Eden, the garden of God? "Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and the gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in the day that you were created." Because he's a musician. "Thou art the anointed cherub." This is key right here. He's an anointed cherub. Do you guys know what an anointed cherub is? The word cherub right here is H3742. Cherub, which means an angelic being, as guardians of Eden, as flanking God's throne, as an image from hovering over the ark of the covenant, as the chariot of Yahweh. A cherub, here according to the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon. A cherub in the theology of the Hebrews and the revelation of Yahweh, a being of a sublime and celestial nature, in figure compounded of that of a man, an ox, a lion, and an eagle, three animals which together with man symbolism power and wisdom, which is in Ezekiel 1. They are first spoken as guarding paradise in Genesis 3:24, afterwards as bearing the throne of God upon their wings through the clouds. So this cherubim, who clearly says he is the king of Tyrus, that's exactly what it says. There is no argument to be had here. Had walked in Eden, and he was anointed cherub over the Garden of Eden, and walked amongst the stones of fire. We'll read it again, verse 14. "Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. You has walked up and down in the midst of stones of fire. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you. By the multitude of your merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore, I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Your beauty was lifted up because of your beauty. You has corrupted your wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee." And who was he directing this to? It says, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus. There is no doubt who this is talking about. It's talking about Satan. He was the one that was appointed over the garden to watch over it, and he did something very naughty. That's why iniquity was found in him. Cherubs are the highest archangels there are. You have cherubim, openim, and seraphim, because everything's done through agency, which you can learn about the cherubim, the openim, and the seraphim, which is in Ezekiel 1. But little did you know the wheels that are inside the wheels aren't wheels. If you actually check the translation, it's seraphim. It's also mentioned in the book of Enoch. It talks about those three main angels: cherubim, openim, and seraphim. So where is this Tyrus? Well, go figure. It's right here, where everybody believes that the true Israelites of the Bible are today. And who was it that was mentioned? The king of Tyrus. He's the king of Tyrus, the anointed cherub that was over the garden. Revelation 2:13. I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelt. Where was Antipas slain? Right here. Yeah. You can sit there and praise that land over there all day long, but you're praising the wrong people. You see, Israel is scattered to the four corners of the earth, more than the sand of the sea, more than the dust of the earth, more than the stars of the heaven. Great nations and great kings would come from their loins. Nowhere in Scripture does it say that Israel, the people, the 12 sons of Jacob, would dwell in one little land that is smaller than this, that's no bigger than the size of Rhode Island. Nowhere. But do you know who was prophesied to be small amongst the nations? The vision of Obadiah. This is what the Master Yahweh said concerning Edom. We have heard a report from Yahweh, and a message has been sent among the nations, saying, Arise, and let us rise up against her for battle. See, I have made you small among the nations. You are greatly despised. Small amongst the nations, which are greatly despised. That might be why they're always trying to put out anti-Semitic claims. Oh, if you say anything that we do is wrong, you're an anti-Semitist. Just happens that, that's where Satan's seat is. And specifically where Ezekiel 28 says where he's the king over. But hey, dude, what do I know? I'm just a welder. I'm a stupid welder. What do I know? Shalom. Oh, one more thing before I leave. I almost forgot. In that same chapter, Ezekiel 28, it says, Son of man, set your face towards Sidon and prophesy against her. And you shall say, Thus said the Master Yahweh, see, I'm against you, O Sidon. Because Sidon is going to be removed from the face of the earth. But who is Sidon? Genesis 10. Right here. Verse 15. And Canaan brought forth Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth. Uh-oh. But again, I'll say it again. What do I know? I'm just a stupid welder. I put my hood down every day. I look at a bright light and mold metal together. So, what do I know? Shalom.